Okay, so my student case study was on a girl in my second grade class named Santina. Little overview is she's a second grader at Ferndale Elementary. She's from a two-parent home. She has one older brother with behavior issues. She's from a extremely low income family and struggles with behavior issues that are causing her academic issues. But she has both behavior and academic. Some previous school experience. There was no preschool enrollment or exposure. From August 2015 to 2016, she was at Grove Elementary, the public school in town. She was enrolled in kindergarten. Her grades were decent, 2s and 3s, which were expected for most kindergartners, especially without any preschool. The teacher documentation said that Santina has a hard time keeping her hands to herself, hitting, kicking, grabbing other students, and inappropriately touching herself and other students in private areas. In January of 2016, she was removed from school and kindergarten with no warning or explanation. It's assumed that it was because of her brother's situation, which her brother was kicked out of public school about that same time and sent to an out-of-town alternative farm school. So, like I say, it's assumed that her parents removed Santina also for time and commuting purposes. From January 2016 to August of 2017, she was homeschooled. There's no recognized documentation of kindergarten or first grade schooling, just a printout of how outstanding her academics were, and they are all from her mother, and her mother was the one that was supposedly homeschooling her. Her current school history is she's in our second grade class at Ferndale Elementary. She's had no interventions, multiple referrals for disrespect of both students and teachers, referrals for dangerous play, inappropriate behavior. Her attendance, she's had 23 absences this year alone, and that's definitely contributing to her academics since she's not ever in school regularly or consistently. It's hard for her to keep up with what we're doing in class. She has incidences of running away or out of school, falling asleep in class, and sometimes she's unable to wake up for over an hour at a time. She's extremely defiant, and she does do better one-on-one, but it's still not solving her problems. It just helps her focus a little bit more. Oh, sorry about this. The only assessment data we have for Santina is from this year since she hasn't really been in school. So the only assessments we have for her is through iReady. Her reading scores when she started second grade were at a 413, which puts her at a kindergarten level. And her current level, she tested at a 499, which is early second grade level. Her math, the beginning of this year, was 369, which also puts her at a kindergarten level. And her most current testing put her at a 417, which is operating at a first grade level. Some school issues is she has no current behavior plan, no 504, even though there's issues of ongoing problems with hitting, touching, and refusal to do any schoolwork. No IEP. The parents have claimed that she has PTSD and a learning disability. The school has requested the paperwork or documentation from a doctor, but we've had no response from the parents for that paperwork. She's currently meeting with the school counselor and Lifeways counselor, which is an outside community counseling service that's free to families, but it's all done at school during class time. Some contributing factors, some outside information, is her mom was a SPED student throughout all of school. Her dad suffers from grand mal seizures, which causes a loss of consciousness, and violent muscle contractions, which is basically what you think of when you think of the word seizures. The last incident where she ran out of school, we found out later that her dad had had a seizure the night before, so that could have contributed to the running. And there is documented violence in the home. Actually, as of yesterday, we got a phone call, but it's yet still unconfirmed. We still haven't gotten that supporting documentation, but that she was diagnosed with adjusted disorder with disturbance of conduct, transition issues, separation anxiety, and depression. Like I say, none of that is confirmed. We still have not received documentation. We were just told that, once again, by her parents. And her parents are apparently medicating her 2 times a day for hyperactivity. But we don't know with what or why, or if that's actually happening. So she's kind of a mystery that everybody's trying to help or figure out how to help, but without that bridge to the parents and the documentation from a doctor, we are unable to get any additional information or able to help her in ways that would really benefit her.